There are some pretty good snacks that either get slept on or hated on by people for unexplained reasons, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. By the way, if you haven't already, you should go watch parts 1 and 2. The first underrated snack of the video is Butterfingers. I don't know why, but just not that many people like Butterfingers, but to me, it's pretty good. It's got a nice texture, the crunch. It has sort of a peanut buttery flavor with the caramel flavor and the chocolate. It all just really goes so well together. And I'd probably put it at the same level as maybe like a Snickers bar. About a week ago, I was watching a video titled Guide to Candy Trading by a channel called Ze Frank. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he said that you should set aside Butterfingers for the mom and dad tax after Halloween. He also said that you should leave the Almond Joy and Mounds aside for the mom and dad tax. Me personally, I would not leave aside Butterfingers, Almond Joys, or Mounds for the mom and dad tax. Other than that, it was a pretty good video, but that's besides the point. All I'm really trying to say here is, Butterfingers, Almond Joys, and Mounds are 3 good candy bars that people love to hate on. I really don't understand why though, because there's nothing wrong with any of them. The next snack I'm going to be talking about is plain potato chips. Sure, they're not as good as some flavored potato chips, but they're solid. There's really nothing wrong with them at all. They're basically like French fries, but saltier and crispier. I'm honestly kind of surprised that I don't see more people buying plain potato chips. Because for me, they're always an option for when you get tired of flavored potato chips. They're always an option for when you want that salty, potatoey flavor and nothing more. To many people, plain just sounds boring. But to me, I like plain. Vanilla ice cream, plain potato chips, plain French fries, they're all good for when you just want a break from all the other flavors. This all brings us to the next snack, which is plain caramel. A lot of people dislike caramel, especially plain caramel, and I don't really get that. It may be considered more simple when compared to other types of candy, but I really like that smooth, rich flavor and how it just melts in your mouth. With other types of candy, like lollipops for example, you don't really get that same experience. It doesn't really melt in your mouth. It kind of just dissolves in your mouth. Now, I'm not saying lollipops are bad, but it's just not the same as caramel. Since I'm already on the topic of caramel, why not talk about 100 Grand bars? I already have mentioned Butterfingers, Almond Joys, and Mounds, but I also gotta mention 100 Grand bars. These things are so underrated when it comes to candy bars. Hot take, but I would say these things are better than Snickers. It's really just caramel inside of a Crunch bar, and that's just so delectable. The caramel is so nice, and the crunchiness you get from the crispy rice just adds so much to the texture. For me, at least, these are an S-tier candy bar. There's really just not much that can top it, if I'm being honest. The next snack isn't necessarily hated on by people, but it's just that not enough people have tried it. Dots Homestyle Pretzels. These things are so good when it comes to pretzels. The only type of hard pretzel I would say tops them are Snyder's pretzel pieces. Still though, they are both amazing and both terribly underrated. With Dots, this seasoning blend is so much better than any of the common brands of pretzels. With Snyder's pretzel pieces though, it's even better. The flavor is like a punch directly to your tongue. It's tangy, it's sweet, it's salty, so many flavors in one little bite. And then the texture for both of them is the perfect level of crunchiness that every pretzel should have. Before I move on, I would like to give an honorable mention to Snack Factory Pretzel Crisps. It's just that the crunch on these is so great, combined with the thinness of the pretzel, it's just a perfect combination. The next snack I'm going to be talking about is the York Peppermint Patty. In my first underrated snacks video, I mentioned that mint chocolate chip ice cream was one of the most underrated flavors of ice cream, and that stays the same for York Peppermint Patties. I really just don't understand the hate behind mint and chocolate as a combination. As I mentioned in my first video, people like to say that it tastes like toothpaste, and my question for those people is, what kind of toothpaste do you brush your teeth with? Because normal toothpaste does not taste like mint chocolate chip ice cream or York Peppermint Patties. I really just wanted to mention that because there is no reason for peppermint patties to be getting the amount of hate that they do, when in all reality, they're a pretty solid choice of candy. Alright, anyways, it's time to talk about the last underrated snack of today's video, which is candy corn. Yeah, whatever, burn me at the stake, but me personally, I don't think candy corn is all that bad. I certainly don't think that it's the best candy, but it's definitely not the worst. To me, they kind of just taste like icing, which isn't really that bad. I don't actually have that much to say about candy corn other than people hate it way too much for what it is. There's really just nothing wrong with it. The texture's nice, the flavor's okay, but other than that, I guess that's all I really have to say about candy corn. Well, that just really wraps up the whole video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, and also join the Discord server using the link in my channel's description. But on that note, I'm out. Peace.